recently been given a lot of chicken wings at a recent Singapore budget announcement.
Okay.
So now I'm just thinking, do we have to return a much larger chicken, Nana?
Yeah, I never understood this chicken wing analogy. And I know what it means.
This coffee shop talk lah. People talk that way.
I know. I give you chicken wing, you take back one chicken.
Yeah. Okay. And for the first time in CCB TV studio and on the Chris Henson Conversation, we have another Henson. Veteran journalist. This is correct, I know. Social political commentator. Correct, not correct, right?
I think so.
Okay. Author, that's for sure. Online cult figure. Agree or disagree?
I certainly hope not.
And she's my sister lah. Please welcome to the show for the first time ever, that one where Bertha Henson blows up. My sister, Bertha. Hello, sis.
Hello, bro.
Yo, this is going to be so awkward. Damn. Okay, get this one out of the way first.
Okay.
Because I normally don't like to talk about politics and shit and all that.
Yeah,
show.
so why the hell am I here?
That's the thing lah. But we have to talk about at least about the little pink elephant in the room.
Okay.
Just touch on it for a bit. The NRIC data breach, man. Is that a breach? Can we call it a breach? I think it's a breach.
I don't know whether it's a breach or not, but it's certainly a shock to me. When I first discovered that I'm inside there and everything about me is inside there. So, I thought it was a breach, but then, apparently it was not, which was why I decided I should tell people that this was happening.
So it wasn't because you were looking for a scoop?
Oh, no. Well, basically,
some people told me that. No, some people actually asked me, hey, did your sister go out looking for a scoop and then discover that? Did she go out to cari pasal or what?
Are you kidding me?
Well, let's get it out of the way.
Okay. No, I wasn't looking for a scoop. There's no reason for me to look for a scoop simply because I'm not, a practicing journalist.
That's what I told them lah. But some people are stupid lah. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't help that.
Okay.
I don't know who you mix around with.
Stupid people.
Okay,
let's go on.
So
what happened?
So basically, somebody told me because somebody told him, and actually, I forgot about it until the next morning. Then the next morning, I checked and discovered it was the case. So I was quite shocked, and basically, of course, Kipo go and do other people's names, and everything came out. Dead people, alive people, male, female, they came out, and I thought that there was something wrong here, and somebody didn't work the new portal right, because I went to check up did some background on, the ACRA portal, then I discovered that it was a newly configured one. I even went through Hansard to see what, MPs had said about that, but, nothing was said about IC numbers and names. They were talking about addresses, whether or not you should put it in or not. That was more the parliamentary side. So I thought, wow, somebody didn't see everything through lah. And I decided that, okay, I should report this. So I went to several sites, I tell you some sites are amazing. I went to one site which actually asked me, are you a white hacker and what white hack thing? And I have no idea, and then I went, in the end, I saw the PDPC one. They said, you can call after 9. Okay, it was not yet 9. Then I saw MDDI, they had a place to write some complaint. So I did. So I said, I found this out. I don't know whether this is correct, but it does look like someone should not be there, It was very funny. They asked me something like, how many people does this affect? I said, I don't know, frankly, probably the whole
They asked you that?
On the form.
Right.
So I said, I don't know, I can't remember what I put.
The whole population of people have died too, yeah.
I said, I have no idea. So after that, I just waited lah. And at 9 something, I called the PDPC. And I know enough about the structure that,
the PDPA structure.
The PDPA doesn't affect government agencies, which is why I was actually quite glad I told MDDI and not just, trying to contact the PDPC. So I told the guy and he was like I think he was a little chua, like he wasn't sure whether to believe me or not. And I said, well, you go and check because I don't know,
Okay.
And I also know that This thing about Scoop, let me tell you something. I went to check if I had reported without telling people that there was a breach. I'd be in contravention of the law, because I'm telling everybody about a loophole instead of getting it fixed first, So I'm quite aware of that, So I waited and people did call me. I mean, the PDPC guy called me back, and then MDDI gave me some weird statement, and, so, and basically I was just waiting to see if something would change.
Okay.
But since you've told me that this, it doesn't seem like a breach, so I put it out on my Facebook post. I said that I found this out, and this was the kind of replies I'm getting, which was frankly not very reassuring. So I put it out, and God, the kind of reaction and feedback was amazing. I frankly didn't think it would be so robust, the reaction.
Okay.
And then after that, I was waiting for something to happen, I mean, I guess a lot of people were signing on and logging in and all that.
Yeah, because we got this 500,000 searches. Can we put that up, please, Kai? Yeah, there you go. Maybe when you posted it, you didn't realize it's going to be like this.
I don't know. I wasn't sure. I mean, I just was horrified that it seemed to be something that, how can the government can do, but private sector cannot.
That's the thing.
So that was something which bothered me, You can't have one rule for one side, another rule for another side.
Exactly.
Never mind if you are governed by different things, It doesn't make sense.
There are people who've gotten themselves in trouble because of breaches. There's far less than what's happened here. Well, they don't call it a breach, I'm sure, right? They are still not calling it a breach.
Which one?
Well, the NRIC thing.
Oh.
Via Accra.
Well, I think they said it was before its time.
Before its time.
It's a premature move, lah. I suppose being premature is different from being wrong.
That's the thing. So to them, it's not a breach, correct? It's an error.
Well, a breach and error about the same, huh? So, well,
no, a breach is when you get in trouble, lah. An error means I'm sorry, lah. We committed an error. Don't you think there's a difference there, not?
No, I mean, if you have a breach, it is an error, and if it's an error, you apologize. They're all about the same. I'm talking semantics here.
Okay.
I just think, well, if the government decides to call it something that's premature, and they did apologize later for the premature way in which the public was presented with this information. I suppose we have to be content with that. I mean, there are plenty of things that we still don't know.
They're doing something about this as an inquiry, right, into this thing?
Yeah, they're doing some internal checks. I think there's a report that will come up because everybody's a bit flabbergasted because it does seem as though one arm of government doesn't know what the other is about, or people were not on the same page, But I think the big mistake they made was to even suggest that, the IC was not sacred, I mean, talking about identification and authentication is just going to go way over people's heads. But, it just goes to show, like, you want to talk about my pink IC, be very careful. Huh? It's just like you want to talk about my red passport.
Correct.
There are some things which are inherently Singaporean. So you have to be quite careful about the kind of value, what you say about these things, because it will get people's backs up. Well,
we all know, you and I also know, even, mom and all always tells us, don't let people anyhow take your IC. And then they talk about...
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah. But now they're saying, don't take your IC, but okay if your IC number come out. So, we're really, really cutting it into very fine lines here.
Let's move on from this IC thing.
Okay.
On your Facebook, you have occasionally, actually, as a matter of fact, it's more than occasionally, it's quite frequent now. Bertha blows up, which is what this episode is all about.
Yeah. So do you want me to blow up here or what?
Huh? Blow up me for what? I didn't do anything, what?
Okay.
Walao. But tell people, what's that all about? How do you come up with it, Bertha blows up?
Actually, I didn't come up with it.
You didn't?
You
did what? It's always Bertha blows up.
Oh, yeah. But I went and crowdsourced for the name first.
Okay.
And then someone came up with Bertha blows up among many, many other names. So I just decided, okay lah, take this one.
And what's that all about? For those of the uninitiated on your Facebook?
Oh, essentially it is my take on professional aspects of what I read, of news reports or features. So it is meant to be, it's not something, I'm not commenting about the topic per se, or, what was the content. I'm commenting about the journalism behind it.
Okay.
So whether it makes any sense, whether there were unanswered questions.
Basically about standards lah.
Standards, it's professional standards, and which I get very annoyed with when I see that it's not up to par, So I call it Bertha Blows Up. By the way, I also added another tag.
Which is Bertha Gives Up.
Yeah.
And what's that about?
That's worse. That is me basically giving up on my own ex-publication, The Straits Times.
Okay.
So, and when I say I give up, I also gave up my subscription.
Wow.
And that was painful for somebody who grew up reading it and working in it, working for it.
So you gave up why? Because it was getting from bad to worse, is it?
Oh, I think, I've said before, I think that's a understatement. So, it's reached the point where...
ST is fucked up. Why?
Don't make me say, don't goad me into that direction.
I'm not goading you. I'm saying it for you.
No,
ST is fucked up. Is that why?
He doesn't speak for me. Full stop. Okay. So basically, it's for me, it's getting very difficult for me to read ST without blowing up. That's why I give up. Because
what's wrong? What's wrong with ST?
Well, they don't know what is news. That's one. Secondly, you can clearly see that there's quite a lot of cut and paste going on. You can clearly see that they're more inclined to use the newsmakers' words rather than explain it themselves. And then you can clearly see that certain questions were not being asked. So basically, I do not like to be half informed.
So
sometimes I think I've probably even been misinformed because you see, whatever you might say about journalism, how you put it across, you can do it in a few ways. One, you can put it across the way the newsmaker wants you to put it across.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, it is propaganda. Okay? Or you can utilize some skills to see what is it the reader will be most interested in. Or what is most significant for the nation, which may not be what the newsmaker wants you to put across either. But so you have to exercise some judgment.
So what do you think is causing all this? The lack of
I don't know.
reporting.
I guess too many new people, not enough old hands. And so basically the culture has changed.
Okay. You wouldn't want to boil it down to just people being lazy?
Oh. Well, I think there is a certain change in the way people think about what journalists do. I'm basing it from the fact that, when I read stuff, I don't see any value added, It's like from the press release and nothing more. So that really annoys me. And there are some things where I think you can go out and get something more and it's not being done. So you're relying on official statements or companies which have PR companies or, people with official spokesmen. So I'm not getting a sense of what the people here want and need.
So basically they just only publish press releases as verbatim that's been sent to them.
Well, I wouldn't put it so bluntly as that. But I do see that, they are pretty, how would I say, they're pretty cautious. Cautious when
I'm saying,
it comes
for
to...
myself, after.
Okay,
yeah.
I would now make a declaration. My brother does not speak for me.
No, I'm saying that for myself.
Yes.
Come on, it's true because, come on, you read stuff, look at the newspapers today, it's so thin.
Okay.
Right?
But they can't help it.
No, it's so thin because nobody wants to advertise anymore.
That's true, and they acknowledge that.
And secondly, when
I can't believe I'm speaking for them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
so when I open the papers and whatever I read, come on, I get better stuff online.
True.
Okay. And whatever they're giving you, it's like there's really nothing in it. It's so thin. The reporting is so thin. There's nothing investigative about it.
Okay, then I will say a few things here. There's a difference between the paper being thin, and the reporting being thin.
Not just physically thin.
So please don't look at it that way. Print always depends on ads, and everybody knows the ads are not forthcoming. The main thing then is you go online and see if they have more online than what you can see in print, and whether it's better online or not. I basically don't think that it's much better online. There are more bells and whistles.
Okay.
You got podcasts or there are some videos and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the main content is just being repackaged for different mediums rather than the main content, being explained well with, more depth put into that main content. So I know I'm not a big fan of packaging. I mean, we may go, wow, yeah, but well, I believe that is what the younger generations now want.
Yeah, but you're really defending them now.
No, I'm not defending them.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not defending them. I'm basically saying that what you're doing now is simply getting the main content as is and then trying to repackage it, which is to me a waste of time. Why don't you concentrate on getting better, real content? Then, I would rather have that and have you spend your time on that than you repackaging very thin reporting to other platforms.
Well, let's talk about headlines. Why are they important?
Well, the headline is the first thing people read. And, most times it will determine whether people read on, So a headline writer is a very important person, in any publication. So if you come out with a boring headline, who the hell is going to read? Then you may say that, well, the report is boring anyway. Then it is your job to make the report look less boring. When people tell me things like that, I say maybe it's not the report that's boring, it's you. You're the boring one. You can't come up with anything more exciting.
But then again, we also come across a lot of readers who just only read headlines.
That's right. That's the problem.
But that's the reason why headlines are important.
Yes. If you read only the headline, it doesn't draw you in. Then you don't get read.
So what do you think? What do you think a good journalist need, or someone who's going to journey to be a newbie, who's going to journey to be a good journalist? What's needed for that person?
I think the first thing is to throw out some misconceptions of what it is. It's not about whether I can write beautifully. The journalism is not about writing beautifully.
Yeah.
Right? Journalism is not about doing like one-to-one interviews like this.
Yeah.
Most good journalism is about people who don't want to talk to you. And, that requires stamina. People don't want to talk to you. The people who don't want to talk to you are the ones probably the best.
So drumming up newsmakers, you mean? Yes, finding the newsmaker.
Yeah. Or finding, going the extra mile, for example, I seldom see much reporting like, people ambushing someone, maybe only politicians. But, go and search out somebody who's had, something happened to him or, so some value added, something more rounded, So I don't know whether it's because everybody's waiting for questions to be answered via email or, as something official. I'll give you one example. I was so flabbergasted when I wanted to speak to a journalist, and this was to do with reporting. And I was asked whether it was important. And then and then I said, well, yeah, I should think so. And then the person told me, am I going to send a statement? And then I said, I probably will, but I would want to talk to someone. Then the answer was, can you just send the statement?
Oh, gosh.
Okay, fine. So I'm like, wow, okay lah, you don't want to speak to me lah, but, I would think I'm quite nice lah. I would grab the chance to speak to newsmakers in any way I can, rather than have the same piece of information that is given to every other journalist.
Why do you think that's so? Why do you think that's so? That they just want to receive the statement?
No, I think they don't know what it is. They don't know what is it they can do.
I still think it's being lazy.
Well,
they could have spoken with you.
Well, I don't know why.
Okay, maybe.
But beyond me lah, maybe it's something about me lah. But I think essentially they don't know what they can do. Is it
a generation thing? Could it be that they're young and then the young people these days, they really don't want to talk to people?
I don't know. I know for a fact that they find it difficult to talk to people.
There you go. Okay.
But if you have to do it, you just go do it, right?
Yeah, well, that's what you and I would say, lah.
You just go do it,
That's what you and I would say.
So like even actually, frankly, even 10 years ago or so, when I have journalists, I know journalists, and they come in, they ask me. I said, go and talk to him. And the first thing they ask me is, how? So, how? I don't know the guy. The guy doesn't know me. How? I say, you just go up there, you make small talk, but they don't know how to make small talk. So, so I've been fed up sometimes. I say, okay, watch. I just go and sidle up to the fella and says, hey, how's it going? And then just open up and say, and really I say, okay, I'm who, and, then talk. So, I think, I think the other one is the fear of rejection. Someone will say, has, I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
In the first place, I never said that, journalism or interviewing is easy. If you expect people to just kowtow and say, oh my God, I'm being interviewed. Please, come on.
It could be a misconception they've got, like you said, when they come into the job, right? That it's all about writing.
Writing and interviewing.
Yeah.
Very quite, the big stuff, you go cover something,
Yeah.
and then or you interview someone, then you just put down his words, or you get an important piece of news, which is given to everybody else, and you are told you are the one who's going to write it.
So in your view, do universities, or I don't know whether there's this thing in Singapore called journalism schools, got such thing?
Got lah. I mean, I used to teach in
that one I know.
Teach in one, no.
Yeah, but is there any outside of the universities? There's none, right?
I think the polys have something like it.
Okay, so still within mainstream education, lah.
Yes, of course.
So we leaving it to these institutions to prepare the next generation of journalists for the practical challenges of the job.
No.
Is it working or not?
Frankly, what you learn in school can't hold up a candle to what you learn at work.
Yeah.
I would, first of all, not even, place much store about whether you have a journalism diploma or degree. The more important thing is when you get out there, things will definitely be totally different from whatever is taught most of the time. And when you go out there, then it depends on your mentors, how much hand-holding you get, so that's what you do.
So the responsibility ought to come from the establishment where they're working, right?
It comes from, the people around
them. The mentors, the sub-editors and all these people, right?
Yeah. I will tell you something that I can't believe. For example, I gather that most new reporters, they start on this thing called breaking news beat. Now that sounds very, very big deal.
Okay, what's that?
Yeah, it's basically I get a statement now and I basically got to get it out as quickly as possible. There's breaking news, what? If SCDTF sends in a note and says there is a fire here, you are the one who's going to write, there's a fire here, and it's breaking news,
Wow.
So I was totally appalled, because, I remember how in the past, what we used to do is we send them out to chase.
And hunt for news.
No, we send them out to accident scenes. We go and make them poll.
Do they do that anymore?
Well, I don't know. I don't see that. I mean, now you see accidents, they come from video.
Yeah. Netizens, people who posted bypasses and all that.
You don't get anything extra.
Right.
And if they're there too late.
So but ST would probably have their own photo department, right?
Yes, of course they do.
And then what do these guys do then?
I don't know enough. I mean, basically they used to be the first people on the scene. Because the photographers were very, very hungry.
Okay, let's go back to this bit about universities. You can go to poly, you can go to university, and naturally you get trained there. But then again, it's not trained. You learn it, but you're not trained. So they end up in places, in Singapore, we can only think about two, right? CNA, Straits Times. They go there, and then ideally, they learn about how you handle stuff on the ground by their employers.
By the seniors.
Yeah, correct. Basically,
by the seniors.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, I mean, they're being employed by these places, so I use that in broad. So the seniors come out, then they're supposed to put them through their paces. So could it be that that's just not happening?
Could be. It probably is. But I must say that a huge group of people have left, so there's a big hole in the hierarchy. And that probably applies to all kinds of media. But, I must say that the way it's being done now, what you read, that, everybody seems to think that, I also can be a journalist. So all I need to do is just write, right?
Yeah.
Or talk to someone, interview someone, and they just put it up, right?
Yeah.
And that to me is so sad for the profession of journalism, because it is so much more than just, getting someone to open mouth and then putting it in words.
So in a nutshell, if you were to be able to give advice to aspiring journalists today, what would that be, given the current circumstances?
Oh, get
and the current
out
situation?
and get out and see what's happening around you. And for crying out loud, stop looking at your phone.
Huh?
Stop looking at your phone. I find,
What's that got to do with anything?
Because when they're outside, even when they're not working, everybody is looking at their phone rather than looking around them, looking at people around them. There are stories everywhere.
Okay.
If I sit down in the MRT train, everybody's looking at the phone. I'm looking outside and wondering, what's happening here? What's going on there? So, your curiosity gets excited by the things and people around you.
So you're saying there are stories everywhere. When you say there are stories everywhere, you mean if you just be observant of your surroundings, you might pick up something that's happening somewhere.
Of course.
And you can chase after that story?
Yes. Or why would you want to chase after what someone has written on Facebook?
Okay.
And, basically, I'm getting quite tired sometimes when I see online media pick up my Facebook post, and I said, what the hell? Why don't you just call me?
Yeah, this thing is called syndication.
No. They, first of all, my Facebook got a blue tick but if I come up and tell you, I'm sorry, you used my Facebook post, they say, I know the answer. It's in the public domain. Of course, we can use. But it wasn't by me. I said, no, my nephew wrote it. What are you going to do then? Because you never asked me. You never came and said, hey, did you really write that?
So they assume lah.
No, there's plenty of assuming going on. So sometimes when I see these posts, and then, and online media especially, very fond of quoting netizens with weird, email handles and all that, right? You keep wondering, are they real people? Because, I can imitate 10 of them and use 10 different names. So where is the credibility? Where is the check? Where are the checks to make sure this is
genuine,
authentic, Yeah. Okay lah, Grace, don't talk to me about media. You're making me very sad.
Huh? Walao. Okay. See, this one got big sister here. I got to listen.
Yeah. Listen.
She's older than me, by the way. Just let you all know. Don't be mistaken.
And, you can't tell by the way we look, right? Yeah.
Wait. We recently been given a lot of chicken wings at a recent Singapore budget announcement.
Okay.
So now I'm just thinking, do we have to return a much larger chicken?
Yeah, I never understood this chicken wing analogy. I know what it means.
This coffee shop talk lah. People talk that way.
I know. I give you chicken wing, you take back one chicken.
Yeah.
I think that's a bit unfair lah. Seriously. Okay. I think basically the question to ask is, you give me one chicken wing, where does the rest of the chicken?
Okay.
I think that's a better way of trying to see the big picture. I get one chicken wing, so who gets the whatever lah, Thai part lah, whatever, where is that going? So I would be more interested in that part.
Okay.
Now whether or not they take back the whole chicken from us, some of the wing, the bones probably be thrown back or whatever, but you cannot stop any government from basically raising its fees or raising license or whatever, so long as they can justify it. So there will be something like that, And frankly, sometimes I think, are you giving me a chicken wing or are you giving me 2 chicken wings? And sometimes I think I should be happy with one.
Yeah. So that's where I'm going to come. What I think is that they gave too many.
So you can't have everything,
Because now I'm worried about since you've given me like 5 chicken wings, 5 pieces of chicken wings, I'm going to return to you a chicken. A whole chicken is bigger than a bloody turkey. You know what I'm saying? Because I've got 5 chicken wings instead of 1.
But the presumption is that you will be asked to give back the whole damn chicken later. So I think the main thing to look at is what you're being given now. those 5 chicken wings, right? Are you able to swallow it all first? Are you going to get indigestion? Whether there are a lot of chickens with wings flapping around, So I think it's very easy to say what government gives out, they take back. But I think but the main thing is this, when we say what the government gives out, is where government gives out to people, but a lot of money also go elsewhere, So I think sometimes we need to go and look beyond ourselves.
Okay.
I know it's very pro-establishment. I know.
Yeah.
But, there are people who tell me that I'm reading it all wrong and that, actually they can afford to give us not just a chicken wing, but the whole damn chicken too. I just have been brought up to know that chicken wings are hard to find and basically we should be, quite careful about dishing out chicken wings.
Yeah, that's the thing. We have to be careful about dishing out. That's what I'm saying. It's just too, in my opinion, it's just a lot they've given.
Fine.
And,
okay, I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
It gets a bit scary.
Yeah.
It is a bit scary.
I agree that I think this is an election budget. Nobody really wants to call it that, not officially anyway.
Election budget.
Not officially anyway. No, people seem to think that, it's something you can say quietly, you can rant online, but you could never say publicly. But hey, what lah?
So since you just mentioned it, election budget, the GE is coming.
Mm-hmm.
There's no secret, it's coming, And you and we're talking about chickens and election budgets. You wrote and published GE 2020 Fair or Foul.
Oh, yeah.
Can we see? There it is. There it is.
Yeah.
Hey, any of you jokers haven't bought yet? Is it still on sale?
I don't know. I think you can go to Epigram bookstore.
Okay, you all can go Epigram and you go and buy, okay? Don't be kote, go and buy, okay, y'all? If you haven't bought, But that's for 2020. Now let's talk about GE 2024. Hey, 2025.
Ayo.
Yeah. Is it still going to be fair or foul? FOWL.
I think it's going to be more of the same because, I think if you read the last chapter of my book, I made a lot of proposals for change to the electoral system, none of which is coming true. So, I think there'll be, basically, I think the crux will come when EPRC comes out with its boundaries.
Right.
But, you can see what Lawrence Wong has already said.
Yeah.
He wants more or less the status quo when it comes to size of GRCs and everything else.
So it does seem it's not going to change.
Well, basically, I don't think they're going to raise the number of SMCs.
Okay.
They probably, if they do, they'll just raise it by 1
okay.
or whatever.
Okay.
So, I glad that they're not bringing back 6-member GRCs. So at least that's something,
Is that confirmed?
We never have 6-member GRCs.
Okay.
Do you know what? 5 members only.
Okay, so there's never been a case for 6.
God, in the past lah.
So they're not bringing it back. Is they going to maintain at 5?
I would think so. They started with 5. They removed 6-member GRC in the last GE.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
So and with what Lawrence Wong said, they're not likely to bring it back. Yeah.
Okay. So that's all we know so far, lah.
Well, that's what I can. Something. The election is a bit. The process can be a bit opaque. A lot of it is really left to the discretion of the Prime Minister.
What's your thoughts? What do you think outcomes will be like?
Outcomes
I know it's a little very premature at this time, but just your thoughts. My
thoughts is, we give away so much money this round. I wonder to what end lah. Because, last year was 65, right? Or 63, 65. Is the government really expecting a huge bump in total proportion of votes? I'm not so sure. I think what it should be about securing all the seats, the first past the post system. So I'm just thinking, are you really? If it's an election budget, I'm not so sure all those goodies are gonna work.
But I don't think there's
raising the vote, total vote share.
Well, if it doesn't, then there's the geopolitical tensions that we are looking at right now. It's happening in and around the world, right? People might be too worried to have a change in any way because of, who. I cannot say it. No, I cannot say it. Let me tell you a little something. YouTube, you mentioned the orange man's name.
Yeah.
And then I have issues with publishing this episode.
Okay.
So
I will not mention his name.
yeah, so the orange one, because of the orange one, right? People might just not want to take the chance or opportunity to just make drastic changes at the ballot box. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, but then it's not. Well, but that is not the trend. The trend is basically governments everywhere. The incumbents are being thrown out. I mean it's not just. Everywhere.
Everywhere else is you mean?
Everywhere in the world. I mean, incumbents are finding it hard to maintain their position.
Like where?
You're going to look at Australia and all that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So people are getting fed up with what they see as a status quo. I don't know whether it's a post-COVID thing or whatever. So they throw incumbents out. So I don't know whether we will feel the same, that we think we want to give somebody else another try. So I don't think that's a given. Yeah. Frankly, I think the PAP would do better actually if they went a bit more about the dangers confronting Singapore than throwing money.
I think they started.
Well, I don't know. Right, but you throw money and then you just get little bump in votes. I don't know how that helps in the long term.
Former PM already came up with that about how things are going to be.
Oh, this thing about being challenging.
Yeah.
That is the problem. When the politicians talk, they talk in such big, vague terms.
Yeah, basically cash no ball.
So, you tell me geopolitical changes and tectonic shifts and whatever disruption and
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, and what?
The average Joe won't get it.
That's why they have stuck in this business of explaining the big picture.
Yep.
And trying to give you the small picture with CDC voucher. Which people can all understand,
So basically, they should speak to us in Singlish lah.
Yeah. Not really lah. I don't think that works.
Just
also.
tell us in plain, simple English.
Okay.
That's all. I also read the thing. I get, hey, hello. Simple a bit can no, y'all. Simple a bit like simple guy. I also want to understand. No. Walao. Okay, moving forward. This one we got to do, okay?
What?
My mama fell. Kai. See, okay. My sister's latest book, When Mama Fell. Actually, when Mama fell, Mama means my mother, her mother, our mother. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And so she wrote this book, and this book aims to be a guide for Singaporeans navigating the healthcare system. So I will leave Bertha to give you a rundown, okay? What's some key takeaways you can have?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Chop one.
Well, actually, it's not a book. It started out basically as just an online offering, which is free. So actually, you can go to www.whenmamafell.com and you can actually read it for free. But then some people said, hey, why not, put it in hard copy, a lot of old people prefer to keep books. And so, okay, it was published, put into a book format, and I must say, it sold very well. And you can still, I have to give the extras, not many, to Epigram Bookstore. I said, tolong you all sell for me lah. Because, I can't do everything on my own, take orders, give out and take money, chase money. So that was how the book came about. Yeah. As for the idea, what the book is about, it is about when our mother fell. And that was the starting point for me to broach this project of trying to see how a caregiver or younger person is able to take care of an elderly person. What are the things they have to go through? So it's meant to be not just personal, but also very user-friendly, some kind of guide, so that you don't have to, bang around and find some solutions or
so
hope someone tells you
what they're entitled to for subsidies and home care options, etc., etc.
Yes.
Because it's just so many damn things that we just get confused over, right?
That's true, but I think it's also because it's a result of us not reading, not reading enough. But I must say that even I read a lot and I still can't get through. But now I keep a firmer eye out, right? A bigger, closer look. For example, the last budget, to me, one of the most significant news was the fact that the home caregiving grant is going to go up. From 400 to 600.
Yep.
And not just that, the number of people eligible for it is also going to go up because they're going to raise the income means.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I think there'll be more information coming out later. But that to me is so much more useful than your $800 CDC voucher or whatever voucher.
Hey, I like the CDC voucher, please. I know it's so much more useful, but I still want my CDC voucher.
Okay, I mean, who doesn't like money, right?
No, use it lah.
But if you can turn that voucher into something more useful, right? Instead of 200, instead of 800, let's say, make it 600, add 200 to the home caregiving grant.
That's also fine. Yeah, but I'm just saying, still give me the CDC voucher. I still want it.
Okay.
If you don't want yours, pass to me.
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, you don't want yours, pass to me. How do you use yours? You sure?
Yes, of course. I'm staying with mom.
You forget to use, right, your CDC vouchers. Okay. Now, there's this 200 likes rule that you have as the mistress of your wall on Facebook.
Okay.
That when you have 200 likes, if let's say you got an absolute a-hole, which you have quite a number of.
I did not block that many, okay?
No. I'm saying, wait. I'm trying to explain to those, again, the uninitiated who's not following you on your socials, that Bertha would have to have 200 likes if she gets a troll on absolute dipshit, okay, who just talks crap and any kind of crap and is crass and blah, 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 like the brother. And then she would ask for 200 likes before she blocks the guy and drops that piece of shit. Okay? Now, I'm going to ask her to tell you what the rules are as a mistress of a wall. And then there's things I'm going to ask after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I think, I don't like people talking crap. Okay. But if the crap is done civilly, with no vulgarities, and you don't get to long arguments, I'm willing to let it go. Seriously, I'm actually quite liberal in that way. My 3 rules are very simple. Don't get vulgar. That's very low class, and secondly, don't get into bilateral, long-winded quarrels with other people. So you have back and forth, as though people are interested. I mean, in my view, you go and corner the fella, go somewhere and fight lah. The third one is people who use my place, my wall as with an agenda. So they actually want to put up some other issue or whatever. So they hijack it. They try to hijack it. I don't like it. I think though that the people realize that, and some have got a little more sophisticated. I'm watching at the way in which they're hijacking the wall.
I think you should make it clear that this is not a page. This is not a business page. It's your personal timeline.
People know. They know.
Because a lot of people, like, tell you, I read some of these people are saying. They're saying things like, but then again, you want to make yourself public out there so I can write whatever I want on your wall.
Okay.
First of all, it's not their wall. You know what I mean? What makes me angry as your brother, when I see these idiots going out there, right, doing all this, is that this is your wall. You can do whatever the hell you want to do on your wall. You know what I mean? And they are like people trespassing onto your property and then throwing paint, paint on your wall.
Yeah.
Right? So for me, this, and I know I'm not alone in this, and you know that too. This 200 likes rule is, get rid of it. Just drop the damn axe.
No.
Why?
No,
Why?
You see, I don't want just to axe everybody whom I don't like or who speaks crap or whatever, because that will just make only certain people will talk. And I think we are a society.
So this then we should actually be dropping, is it?
No. I think basically my point is I want as wide and as diverse a group of people.
Sure.
And they include the stupid, the mad, the insane, the whatever else.
Stupid's okay.
No, actually, frankly, well, never mind. But so long as they observe these 3 very, very basic rules, you must be really awful person to break any one of them,
Okay.
So I'm willing to let it through. Let these people through. So, okay, sure, some of them say shit about me. Sometimes in front of my face.
Yeah.
And I have mellowed so much over the years that I tell myself, I am going to speak what you want now, because it just reflects more on you than on me. Especially if you're someone I don't know and you don't know me. And then you are faceless and nameless and whatever profile.
Sis, I have no patience for this.
Oh, no. I think all sorts. If you want to come, you go there. And I think the only people who will be judged is the fella writing. Full stop. So I am quite clear about those rules. Everybody wants me to X this one, that one. He's a this, that a this. I don't want. And when I do that and I ask for 200 likes, it's because I want that guy who's being blocked or X or whatever to know
that people think of him.
Yeah, that people agree and he should be ashamed of himself. If I just block unilaterally, then it's like, Bertha cannot tahan. She blah, blah, blah. Hello, I didn't do it on my own. I did it with 200 people.
Okay, now the latest project that you've embarked on. Can we flash that one up? Chin and Chai, Kai. Okay, you created these 2 characters. I know Chin and Chai was this. How do you call this thing?
Cartoon.
Not cartoon. Before the cartoon, you used to have
text. It was just.
It's all text, right?
Yeah, dialogue. A dialogue
between Chin and Chai.
Yeah.
And then you've always wondered, how is it people read this more than they read your serious stuff, right?
Fed up. I'm really fed up.
And if you fed up, then how did it become this?
Well, so that even more people will read it. It's, you see, what I said earlier about packaging.
Right? Yeah. Bells and whistles.
Yeah. And sometimes, you also have to catch on to the fact that some people will only get into it if there are bells and whistles. But, my main contention is still there, that the content must be good. Yeah. So the thing is how to put it across in a way that will excite more people, different types of people.
So you evolved it to a comic strip.
But this is a comic strip with quite a big difference because there's a lot of info added into it as well. So, in the past, Chin and Chai was off the top of my head, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I read something, I say, okay, I go write it, and it's out in 10 minutes. No?
Yeah.
But the ones that I do now, I have to think harder about it because I want to also inform,
Through the comic strip.
So, you can make it a bit funny, you can make it a bit sarky, right? And people will just, or sometimes people say, this one actually we already know, but no, they are saying.
So it becomes like a not infamous, what do you call it? Infographic.
Well, the infographic is in the later pages. It's basically to get people interested in knowing more.
Okay.
So if you talk about boundaries, for example, you give them more information about the boundaries. But you do it in such a way that they will go on and read.
Right. This one I just flashed out. Can you put that up again, please, Kai? Chin and Chai. It says pre-GE.
Yeah.
So really, you got it going already?
Of course I got it going. I got it going, the day I think they announced the setting up of the EBRC.
Okay.
It's something that me and Cheyenne is working with me on the design. We wanted to do this earlier. And I've always had a great interest in politics. I was just thinking to myself, how am I going to get involved in this GE in a media way, So then
so we're going to see more Chin and Chai.
Of course, definitely.
For the GE, especially for the GE.
In fact, I think, the plan is to enlarge it a bit so that it's not just GE and politics, that it could be a lot of other things. 2 civil servants talking.
Right.
130 or 152, one newbie, one idealistic and the other cynical. There's a lot of potential there to reflect views. That is one. That's the thing that Chin and Chai is different from pure explanatory stuff.
Right.
So you can reflect views, you can explain, and you can give info.
Which is certainly more than what ST has been doing.
I don't like that.
Okay. What?
Okay.
Anyway, just let you guys know, you heard the name Cheyenne mentioned. It's a guy.
Okay.
I don't get it, but yeah. Hi, Cheyenne. You're a guy. Okay. That's about it. It's getting so awkward. You have my sister on the show. My goodness. I've been so quiet. Really, more quiet than usual. Thanks, sis, for being on the show.
All right.
Okay, everyone.
Okay.
Don't forget, next week we still have another episode popping up. And God, Kai, which one would that be? We have Jimmy Lee coming on for our tribute show. Great old drummer, man. Fantastic guy. And he'll be coming on next Friday, 8 p.m. Don't forget to catch us on CCB TV. This is Chris Henson saying bye-bye.